Well, we finally did it, folks. This here is the last Too Bad We Didn't Get Into Cars podcast episode ever.
That's right.
It's the last one ever. And
I'm tired of all of you.
Exciting news for our final episode. We do have a sponsor finally after doing this episode or this episodic journey and deep dive into our friendship of a very long historied friendship. We finally have a sponsor. So give it up, everybody, for Sprite. Enjoy a nice, crisp, refreshing can or glass of Sprite Cranberry, LeBron James endorsed. David, the people want to hear what you think.
I like normal Sprite better.
Don't say that in front. The fucking sponsors are... Just kidding. He loves it. He loves it. He loves it so much.
What? I said I like normal Sprite better. It's made by the same company.
Whether you like the original Sprite or Sprite
Fuck
Cranberry
you,
more... I think they're owned by the Coca-Cola company.
They are.
Yeah, they are.
Because Pepsi has Starry.
And Mountain Dew.
Shut the fuck up.
It's the thirstiest time of the year, folks. So make sure you grab yourself a case or a bottle of Sprite Cranberry. And I'm just fucking kidding. No free advertising on this channel. Sorry, I'm right in your camera. I'm going to put this down next to me. Welcome to episode 49 of the Too Bad We Didn't Get Into Cars podcast, everybody.
49.
For the final time, my name's Nick Scarp. Well, I'm going to say it at the end of the episode. For the second to final time,
Yeah,
my name is...
There's still one more after this. Don't worry.
Yeah. One more time that I get to say.
David Kabushi Cars and
Nick Scarpinato.
What do we have here today?
We're going back to our roots with a simple car name this time. No sports car, no police car. David, what do we got?
No, what we got. You're the one who wanted to say it.
Okay. With us here is the 2019 Subaru Forester.
Subaru Forester.
And
all right.
You know, and unfortunately for our last outing, I was not able to rope Vanessa into this. Unfortunately, she had other matters to attend to. She's actually graduating from med school today. I know, our little girl has grown up so fast. And this is the most important day of her life, or it would have been had she been here for our last, in-house podcast episode. But whatever. I guess med school is cool too. Saving lives or whatever. I was about to curse out my own child, but that's not this podcast. We're turning over a new leaf right at the end of the show. No more swearing. No more cursing.
It's too late for that already, to be honest.
No more cursing on the podcast.
I've already said fuck you to Sprite.
You did say fuck you to... No, you said fuck you, Coke.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, same thing.
Same thing.
Made by the same manufacturer.
So, because this is a big outing for us, we of course have to finish what we started, and we have to finish our list of games, because we in the air, in the sense, in the spirit, because Halloween just ended, in the spirit of overdoing a bit, we decided to include 15 games on our list of top games of all time. And y'all have listened to us break down 12
of them
each, which is 2 more than most people, I'd say.
And the honorable mentions. I had like 4 honorable mentions. So it was like 19 for me.
Did I have I don't think I had honorable mentions. I'd probably put Tekken Tag Tournament up there. Honorable mentions. The Cars game on PS2. The movie tie-in game, which was a racing game. Very cool. But before we talk about our games, because I don't want to rush into it too quickly. I know we got a lot to talk about. But I'm going to miss this. So I think we should take a look back at the last 2.5 years of doing this podcast. Roll tape.
That's what the last one's for. Next time. That's what our finale is. Among other things. Honestly, the finale is probably going to be like 3 parts, dude.
Yeah. We'll save the surprise for the end. Because we do have something cool planned. But for now, I just want to say happy belated birthday, David.
We're both fucking 29 now.
We're both 29 years of age, which means we can now legally say that we're 29.
Suicide.
I can't say I expected that answer out of you. I also cannot say that I expected us to have the same answer, but I did not expect that answer. Jesus, man. We're not even 30.
Exactly.
Take it easy.
It's too late.
Take it down a notch. What did you get to do for your birthday, bud?
I ate yet another what do they call it? Not gallon. Bucket. A bucket of Jesus yogurt. Got to watch Terrifier 3. And they even upgraded us because I just got the like the normal standard ticket. And when we got to the theater, they were like, "Oh, actually, you're in the Dolby or the super screen or whatever theater."
Yeah.
So we got an upgrade.
Wow,
so that was cool.
Just for free, just like that.
Yeah, I got to see it on the big ass Ultra Greg screen.
Oh, and Marcus.
Yeah, that movie's
Love that guy.
Fucking awesome.
Was it terrifying?
Absolutely great. I love Art. He's like my favorite. He's like my favorite modern thing.
He's a clown, by the way, so everyone who doesn't know. So if you're afraid of clowns...
But he's also more like a mime. They call him Art. Do you call him a clown? But clowns like talk. He doesn't. He doesn't make any sounds.
Also, he wears black and white and blood on his face.
Yeah, he's like black and white. And he's more like a mime, but whatever. They call him a clown.
Yeah, I guess Art the Mime didn't have the same ring that Art the Clown does. I heard the opening scene to Terrifier 3... sent people packing during early screenings, and they left the film entirely.
It's not even the worst part of the movie.
Okay.
I think those people just didn't know how fucked up it was going to be. But me already seeing the first two, I fucking knew what it was going to be. So that's probably what happened. Like they just had no idea how fucking wild this movie actually was going to be. And wild it was. More wilder than the shitty wild robot.
Okay, we don't have to harp back. We don't have to, because I just talked to someone a couple of days ago about how much they loved the Wild Robot and how much it made them cry.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey,
whatever, dude. Whatever.
Listen,
man. What'd you do for your birthday besides play a show?
Yeah, I played a show on my birthday. I got a haircut. I then went on to get all my hair cut. Boo! This is the part where you're supposed to boo. Come on, man. I gotta hold up cue cards now. What? Who said that? Hey, fuck you. That was to the audience member. That was aggressive. I got myself cupcakes from Small Cakes. I got some gluten-free cupcakes, which were not good. Turns out cupcakes are a lot better when they have gluten. And I've been celebrating what the kids call my birthday week. All week, because that's just...
You call it that.
I have been calling it that. Because I think having just one day of getting to do shit that you like, after enduring another year on this godforsaken planet, I think one day is not enough. So I am following a trend that I might be making up from the internet, where you just do shit all week, and you celebrate shit all week. I went to Six Flags Great America on Halloween for Fright Fest. That was fun. I did not get scared. Well, okay, I did get scared a couple of times, but it's all jump scares. You know, are you a big roller coaster guy? Have you ever been?
My motto is I will only go on the fourth biggest one.
Okay.
Only the fourth. I will not go on the top three like craziest rides. I'll go on the fourth.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. I feel like the top three at any given theme park are always
but
the most
the
extreme.
one time I went to Fright Fest was fucking terrible because it was freezing.
Yeah, so was ours.
It was so fucking cold.
Yeah, it was windy as fuck. And I wore shorts because I was dressed as SpongeBob. I was dressed as SpongeBob for Halloween. And I wore shorts and I said, I'm going to bring a sweater just in case. I needed pants. And I did not have pants. So that was unfortunate. But it was a fun time. we're doing a double feature tonight at the movie theater. There are 2 limited release movies that are happening almost back to back. So I thought, let's do that. What else? What else should I do?
We're seeing Metropolis and John Wick 1, by the way.
Yeah,
in case you were wondering.
2 very critically acclaimed films, both of which I have not, neither of which I've seen. One of which David has seen and has pressured me into watching. It's the one with all the guns.
Right.
And Metropolis is, I think, from the director of Akira, based on a manga from the 60s, and is considered one of the greatest animated films of all time.
And I've never heard of it until like a week ago.
So we shall see, because I know nothing about the movie, and I will continue to know nothing until we walk in and sit down. That's how it was with Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue fucking ripped ass.
Yeah.
Really good. It stank up the whole theater. So yeah, and then Halloween. How's your Halloween? Tell the people what you dressed up as.
Went as Leon. My name's Leon.
Leon!
I'm a cop.
Help me, Leon!
The cop in me died that day. I've been tasked on a secret mission.
Yeah, he stopped killing zombies. He started killing Spaniards.
¡Busca fuego! ¡Ay, aquí! I don't know why, but like, yeah, they're so much more fun enemies than like the regular shitty zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. We're about to play Resident Evil 4 because David was so kind as to get it for me for my birthday. After the last podcast episode of talking about Resident Evil 2 and how Resident Evil 4 remake would probably replace it. So I'm feeling good. I'm enjoying it so far. It's a good time. And yeah.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Now we have 6 games to talk about again.
So I hope you guys are buckled in and ready to listen to 2 nerds talking about nerdy stuff that is only going to be fun for us. And I guess I'll start with my number 3 favorite game of all time. Hit him, David.
Oh, here it is.
Let them know. This camera. Let the people know what you got going on in your life. Can you see it from here? Oh, sorry, my big ass head is.
There you go.
My number 3 favorite game of all time is another Pokemon game. That makes 2 Pokemon games on my list. This one.
What a fucking. Okay, I have 2.
Fallout games.
Yeah, I have 2 Fallout games on my.
Yeah, I was like, it's fine. Pokemon Legends Arceus is, by many standards, I consider one of the best Pokemon games of all time. Even though for a lot of people it went slept on, but for Pokemon fans, shit was a big deal. I remember watching the trailer. It was at a Pokemon Presents, and we got Diamond and Pearl remakes, which everyone was disappointed by. And then at the very end of the trailer, the Pokemon Presents, we have one more trailer to show you. Please enjoy. Mm-hmm. And they show this like stroke painting trailer set in a land called Hisui, and we're like, what the fuck is that? And then you see Dawn and Lucas, but they're dressed up in these like traditional like ninja outfits. And then you see them roll up with Oshawott, Cyndaquil, and Rowlet. And dude, when we heard that it was going to be called Pokemon Legends, and it was about a Pokemon that already came out, it was like, this has never happened before. Pokemon's never really done a thing like this. And then more gameplay trailers started coming out, and you could manually throw Pokeballs, you could craft items, you were writing the first Pokédex for the Sinnoh region ever. It just was the first Pokemon game in years to introduce so many new ideas. And dude, it is so fun to play. It's so fun. First of all, I loved getting to have Cyndaquil as a starter again because he was my first starter of all time. Technically Chikorita was, but Cyndaquil was the first starter that I ever played through a Pokemon game with. Have you heard all the shit about Hisui and Typhlosion?
Yeah, he's a rapist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit. I highly doubt any of that shit's real.
there's just a lot of Pokédex entries that involve Pokemon and like luring children. And I think it was a mistranslation.
And like for some reason, Octillery as well. Like,
yeah.
I think it's all horse shit.
Probably.
I think it's all horse shit.
It probably is. I still love you, Typhlosion. You're still the best boy around. Yeah, and you're just catching Pokemon. And you keep them on a farm. And the more you catch, the more you learn about them, which is cool. It encourages... Like, the catching mechanic is also really fun. If you throw a Pokeball at Pokemon and you catch them off guard, it vibrates the controller a little bit, and it does a little shaky. And and also it has one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best final boss fights in any Pokemon game. Not Arceus, by the way. But the Pokemon boss fights are actually pretty fun, too. Like, not only are you fighting trainers and battling Pokemon, but... every boss fight has like unique what's the word?
Mechanics around it.
Yeah, they introduce a bunch of new Pokemon forms, a bunch of new Pokemon evolutions, getting to see all the Pokemon. Everyone was stoked about Pokemon having unique battle animations this time instead of just the generic like tackle. It's just the model moving forward. And it just felt like a big step in the right direction. And, it's the only Pokemon game I can remember that as an adult I've pressured my friends into trying to play. Like, my friends that only, like, play surface-level Pokemon, I'm like, dude, you have to play Legends. You have to play Legends. And now they have a new one coming out. ZA, or Z through A. That we know nothing about other than it's set in the Kalos region. It is not set in the past, but it takes place entirely within the city.
Better be a big goddamn city.
That's what I'm saying,
It better
dude.
be a really, really big city.
I'm thinking we get underground. I'm thinking we get on the surface. I'm thinking we get to go into buildings actually, hopefully. And there are like multiple floors to buildings again. Also, I'm hoping we get cool starters and megas. Megas are coming back.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So we'll see about the future of Pokemon. But if it's anything like Pokemon Legends Arceus, I feel like these top 3 games that we're both going to talk about, they're going to be specific to us, obviously. So it's going to be hard to we're not going to try to convince you to play these games. But if you like Pokemon and you haven't played Pokemon Legends, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Not playing Arceus, apparently.
Yeah. Playing fucking Pokemon Unite like a goddamn chump.
Fucking child. What kind of a child plays Pokemon Unite, dude?
Yeah, or like what kind of adult who used to play Pokemon Unite but is now playing Zenless Zone Zero. That's me. I'm talking about me. Anyway, let's move on. I think it's time.
I didn't say anything about it. I played this game too.
Okay, that's right. Sorry.
I really liked it. It was really good. And, yeah, I actually cannot believe they picked Rowlet.
Because at the time, Gen 9 hadn't come out, so Rowlet was only one generation prior.
Yeah, because, like... I think I mentioned this the first time we talked about this game, but like my real-time reaction watching that trailer was, oh, cool. I get to pick Cyndaquil again because I'm not picking shitty piece of shit Oshawott.
Okay.
I was like, hell yeah, I'm picking Cyndaquil. Oh, shit, my boy. And the fact that they were, they changed the final form was pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they have
really
Hisuian forms.
Although fighting type, whatever. Like, I wasn't crazy about the typing, but, like, his move, whatever it was called, like, triple arrow, fucking something, whatever, was pretty awesome. And, yeah, that Arceus fight was a bitch. That fight was a bitch.
Oh, I was talking about the surprise fight.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, with the Giratina. But, like, then the real ending was a bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Arceus.
Dude, yeah. I still have not... fought Arceus yet.
Bro's saying it's his third fucking favorite game of all time and he hasn't even finished it yet.
I'm that confident that I'm gonna like it to the end.
What a fucking joke.
All right. I think it's time.
Who let this guy here, man?
I think it's time to move on.
Who let this guy in here? How have you not finished it? What the fuck, Nick?
I just got caught up doing other things.
Third favorite game on AS. All right. Anyway, what's my third favorite game of all time?
Move on, man.
3 and 3. Fuck you,
Just gonna keep doing that. Just keep throwing them in front.
Yeah, until they fall over.
Okay.
We sporting this hoodie was no fucking coincidence. Although this hoodie is technically Fallout 4, but fuck you. Change the middle one to a 0, and boom, you have Fallout 3.
We make the rules around here.
Yeah, Fallout 3 was the first one I played, and naturally, whatever the first one you play ends up being your favorite.
Yeah.
Although that might not be true.
It could be. I think it is.
I don't think it's true all the time, but for me, it is.
What's your Wi-Fi password again?
As we'll see, it's a Code Beach.
You gonna censor that?
No, everyone. The code to Emmernet Lincoln password is Code Beach, capital C and B.
Oh shit! I didn't do the capitals.
Jesus, I was very young when I played this, because New Vegas came out like 2011, and I think I played this like right in that area of 2011, which made me
like 15, 16.
Okay, maybe not that young, but because we're fucking old now.
29.
And yeah, I distinctly remember borrowing this game from the homie Dale with the other homie Jason. Jason was also there. He was there the first night. And we took it back to my place because he was sleeping over.
Yeah.
And I remember him being in Rivet City. Those you know where Rivet City is the city on a boat.
City on a boat.
For those who are uneducated over here.
That's me.
And there was, like, off the side of the boat, there was, like, a baseball cage. And like
a batting cage?
It was like a baseball field, but without the field part because it was a boat. But, like, the cage and the bases and everything. And I remember Jason, like, because he was playing, I was just watching, and I remember him decapitating someone or, like, shooting their head off and picking up their head and, like, kind of, like, playing baseball with it, like, throwing it. And I was just like, what the fuck is this game, man? It was awesome. Legendary.
Yeah.
So I eventually got it myself, and shit, man. It's great.
The rest is history.
It's great. People like to, be bitches about it and be like, because it's very different from the first two. Obviously, it was the first Bethesda one. And people were like, Bethesda's not great or whatever. But you know what? Fuck you. It's really good. I always thought a lot of the Fallouts had different strengths to them. Like, each one of them was the best at something. And I think 3 had the best setting. Because there is no other place you can possibly do that would be a cooler location than DC. Which is where we're going. We get to go to the Fallout 3 place.
We get to go to Fallout 3 place.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this one had the best setting. New Vegas had the best RPG elements. Fallout 4 had the best combat, and Fallout 76 had the best enemies. You put all 4 of those together, and you got yourself a lovely stew.
I hate stew. I hate stew.
Man.
Is it a good entry point for people who have never played Fallout before?
I mean, I think it was a lot of people's first game, so probably. Although, it has shown its age, which is why everyone really wants a fucking remaster of this game.
I'm sure it'll get one.
But, they don't remaster games that actually deserve to be remastered. They're too busy remastering fucking Spider-Man 2 and Last of Us Part 2.
They're remastering Spider-Man 2.
I don't know. I don't think so, but they did the first one.
I really hope not, because that game just came out, and everyone was already saying that was just a remaster of the first Spider-Man remaster, because it's the same city and same layout.
No shit. Wow, New York is the same city as New York.
Yeah, no,
Who would have guessed? I'm not talking about you, but like anyone who actually unironically says that, you're a dumb fuck.
Yeah, it's like, where else are you gonna have a Spider-Man game? Put him in Tokyo?
Oh,
That'd be cool.
Was he gonna go to DC, like Far From Home?
Honestly, that'd be fun.
Could be cool.
Could be cool.
Actually be cool.
But
everything ties goes back to DC.
Everything goes back to DC. I wonder why. So Fallout 3. Is there a plot to Fallout 3?
Yeah, you have to find your dad.
Good luck.
You
skip town.
What's his name? Liam Neeson is your dad.
Oh my God.
He leaves you. He's like it's like reverse Taken.
Which is ironically or unironically hilarious.
And much like most Fallout games, or probably all of them, there's like the plot you start with, and while you're doing that, it reveals like the larger plot. You know, the larger plot is that the fucking stupid ass Enclave is trying to show up, and you're trying to like restore the water purity or whatever.
Yeah.
To get, you know, purify the water.
Sure.
There's
People
all
need
that
water.
thing. Then there's all the fucking DLCs. Like, okay, what's it called? Mothership Zeta. I remember I never want to do that one again.
Mushrooms Data?
Mothership Zeta.
Mothership
You get
Zeta.
abducted by aliens, and you go into a UFO. You gotta fight aliens. And honestly, it's a big pain in the ass.
Oh.
But you get like cool alien pistols and blasters and shit.
Is it like Fallout 4 where you can't reload them once you shoot all of the
you
ammo?
Find ammo, but like once you leave the shit, I don't know. It's been a while, but I don't really like that one. Operation Anchorage, the one in China, that one's pretty cool. I like that one. I like the winterized power armor you get at the end of it. The Pittsburgh, you go to Pittsburgh and you become like a slave. They take away all your shit and you gotta like fight your way out of it. And when you get back all your shit by the end of it and you become an overpowered god again, you like fucking kill everyone. It's awesome.
I was in Pittsburgh.
Point Lookout, that was really cool. I think that one takes place in like Maine or something, or if that's Far Harbor, I don't know. But it's very cool. That one's pretty awesome too. And then obviously Broken Steel is like the mandatory one, because original Fallout 3, there is no post game. Like, your character dies at the end of it, and you reload like before that happens.
Yeah. Interesting.
But with DLC Broken Steel, like you get to continue past that. Like you can send someone else to do the thing and they die instead. Or if you go in there yourself, I think they just revive you and you get 10 extra levels. Like the level cap is 20 and that one makes it 30. It's just like you got to have that one. Otherwise, fuck base Fallout 3. You got to get Broken Steel. So yeah, a lot of cool DLCs. I remember the first time I played it. Y'all remember when you find your dad in the vault and he tells you to meet him at Rivet City?
Yeah.
And most people would just fast travel to Rivet City, but I didn't know about fast traveling back then, so I actually followed him across the entire fucking map.
Oh my God.
All the way back to Rivet City. That was cool.
Did he die at all?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, you get to fight enemies with him every once in a while. You know, like a rad scorpion shows up.
Yeah. I hate rad scorpions.
But yeah, cool characters. Fucking Fox, the super mutant, he's awesome. Three Dog, the fucking best radio fucking host.
Three Dog.
Because one dog ain't enough, and two is too low. This is Three Dog. Ow! Bringing you the truth, no matter how bad it hurts. He's just a really cool DJ.
Okay.
I really like that one. Fuck.
Oh, sorry.
Shit, man. It's really good. I don't know. I'm trying to describe all the good things about this game, and there's a lot. So,
well, again, we're not trying to convince you guys to play it, but if that does end up happening, and that's our legacy,
fucking play it, you scrub. What the hell are you doing with your life?
I don't know. I'm trying to play Metaphor.
Not
and
you. You're
okay.
fine. You're fine. Whatever.
They're gonna remaster it, and then I'll play it. So enough about falling out. We're talking about...
Speaking of falling out, this game and me had a falling out.
There you go. That's a transition. Now, that's what I call a transition volume 2. Because this is the second Kingdom Hearts game. My number 2 game, speaking of number 2, look at that. We have Fallout 3 in your third spot and Kingdom Hearts 2 in my number 2 spot. Kingdom Hearts 2 is, without a shadow of the doubt, the most influential singular game from my childhood. Formative. It, like, steered the ship of where my interests in video games would lie for the next, like, 15 years after I played it for the first time. I'm going to break down my history with the Kingdom Hearts franchise really quickly. There was a chain of... What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
Is that your microphone?
I mean, I'll fucking cut it out. I'll mute it. But yes.
It's just weird waveforms. You see that? See that on your camera?
Do you hear that? I hope not.
So back in the day, as in when David and I were tiny little boys, there was a chain of electronic stores called Circuit City.
Oh, man.
And I know. And one day my mom drove us to Circuit City to find probably some batteries, something very small, innocuous. And I, of course, ran to the video game section because I didn't know they had one. And I was looking through all the video games, all the dudes with, helmets and guns and all the racing and sports games. And this was not the game, by the way, that I saw. But I found the cover to the first Kingdom Hearts game. It was already a greatest hits. Whenever a game on PlayStation was a greatest hits, it had sold like a certain amount of copies. And I flipped to the back and I saw Genie from Aladdin. And I was like, what the fuck is this game? So I go home, popped it in, watched the intro where Sora falls into the ocean and you hear Simple and Clean for the first time. Changed my life. Played that game, got to the fight with Riku, spoilers, at the end, which I thought was the end of the game. Could not beat him because he was so tough. Gave up entirely. I played Chain of Memories, which was a Game Boy game that takes place in between 1 and 2. And then finally, I was reading a magazine at the time called Disney Now or Disney whatever. It was like this small like magazine that was all things Disney Channel, Disney movies coming out. But more importantly, it had info about Kingdom Hearts. And so every once in a while I would see more info about Kingdom Hearts 2. And it was one of the first games that I ever got stoked on all of the pre-release stuff for. Trailers, magazines, illustrations that came out. I was doing research and I was like, when is this shit coming out? I had a friend named Caleb at the time who we also played Kingdom Hearts together and we were very into it. My cousin KJ and I loved Kingdom Hearts. My auntie Patty, who just gave birth to a little boy named Bruce. Love you guys. She was the one that gave me her copy of Chain of Memories. So like Kingdom Hearts was big for me and my family. And when this game came out, the second game, the cover had like a silver gloss on it. Like seeing all the characters on the poster, it was so badass because like everyone was a little bit older. There was a time skip. They introduced forms in this game. They had different worlds. So you travel to different worlds in the Disney universe. On your gummy ship, you travel with Donald Duck, who's a mage, and Goofy, who's like a guardian, shield, whatever. And you, the main kid, Sora, you get thrown off your island by this big dark shadow, and you have to travel around the world, and you have to beat all of these Disney villains, lock the heart of the world away with your Keyblade, which is just a sword that's a giant key. And I realize the more I explain this game, the more I seem like a certified insane person. Mickey Mouse is a king, and he's one of the most powerful beings in the universe. But in the first time he shows up in the game, he has that hood.
It's still true today.
Still true today. And yeah, dude, I don't know what to say about this game other than like when I look at that poster, when I look at the opening title screen, the music that plays during the opening title screen of this game makes me tear up without fail every time. I think it is one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've ever heard in my life. But I'm also very biased. And I think playing Kingdom Hearts 2 and playing Kingdom Hearts and all of the games in between, it's probably the reason I was so open to watching anime for the first time. It probably fed into, my obsession with seeing the power of friendship in stories like this and the indomitable human spirit. And, it's just like, I think playing Kingdom Hearts made me a fucking sap. And I love it. And I love that so much. And I'm glad that as an adult, I can share my love for this franchise with people on the internet and people in real life. And, and it's just a great game. Chances are, even if you haven't played Kingdom Hearts, you know about the game. You know about all of the meme clips from the games that have come out where Goofy like fucking dies. He gets hit in the head with a rock, and then you play the rest of that level without him. There's that meme of Mickey Mouse walking into a room with 2 anime characters, and he's like, "Hiya, fellas. And somebody say the Heart of Darkness?" And then it cuts to him, and he's this tiny guy in like that black hood, and he's like smiling like an asshole. Dude, it's just, yeah. I think the chokehold that Kingdom Hearts 2 had on me as a kid, it's the reason why it's at number 2. And I went back a couple of years ago and I replayed Kingdom Hearts 2. Easily out of the entire franchise, I think it's got the best combat, the most memorable story, the best worlds. I don't even care that it doesn't have the best graphics, because like when I played Kingdom Hearts 3, my main concern was not Sora's hair doesn't look realistic enough. Nah, man, and also the boss fight. I've seen people, the last boss fight where you fight Xemnas, or is it Xehanort? I think it's Xemnas. And you and Riku, your childhood best friend, are like, there's an entire real-time action sequence, or what do they call that? QuickTime event, where you and him are deflecting lasers and the camera's panning around you, and you feel like such a badass when you get there, even though you're only like hitting triangle. But you're like, yeah, dude, oh my God. If I keep talking about Kingdom Hearts, I'm going to blow a fucking gasket and I'm just going to start crying. So I know you didn't say, I know you said you don't have very much to say about this franchise because you have not great memories with the person that introduced you to the series, and I am not gonna sit here and try to force an opinion out of you, but
I will say I've played Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. I've only played the number ones. This one was easily the best one. Like, no, 1 was a little janky.
Yeah, there's a lot of platforming.
It was a little janky. 3 was just kind of a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, very fluffy.
And this one was definitely the best one I had a time with.
Yeah.
Although the beginning pissed me off because I was like, who the fuck are these people?
Right. Which was it. Okay, so to take you guys back, when this game came out, there was only 2 other Kingdom Hearts games. One on the PS2, which is the original, and one on Game Boy. If you didn't have a Game Boy and you did not play the card-based combat game called Chain of Memories, which was integral to the plot, by the way, then when you started Kingdom Hearts 2, like I, myself, David, and many, many others did, you wake up as a different blonde kid in a town with characters that you've never been introduced to before, and then it's only like 2 hours in that you find out, oh, that's the prologue. And your whole thing is you find out that you start as a kid who is actually Sora, but it's because in the first game, Sora got turned into a Heartless. And then whenever someone creates a Heartless, the empty shell becomes a nobody. And sometimes if a person's heart is strong enough, then their nobody has a similar personality to them. And the kid that you play as in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2 is Sora's nobody. And then he finds Sora's body and he realizes, I'm you. And then he returns to his original body. It's like, that shit is crazy. That shit is certifiably insane when you try to explain it to someone. But I promise these games are fun. I promise you just gotta get through that, all that confusion. And
don't try to understand the story. Just fucking go to Disneyland and have fun.
Yeah. And that's all we're going to say about Kingdom Hearts 2. I love you, Simple and Clean. Mwah. I love you, dearly beloved. And I think, David, it's time for your turn.
Oh, fucking finally. Jesus, get this off me. So fucking hot in here.
Get this shit off me!
Fucking... Ugh. Oh, yeah. There we go. Whew. You know it's time for like the 80th time we're talking about this fucking game. This podcast. But you know what? Hell yeah, dude. Now we get to talk about Breath of the Wild again. Though we literally just talked about it in the last episode. But that was for his thing. Now it's my turn. This game is good.
Woo! Yeah.
Let's hear it for Breath of the Wild.
Let's hear it for Breath of the Wild, everybody. Well, I know we talked about it a lot in my last episode because it did break my top 5. But I only played that game because you had pressured me so much into playing it.
Yes, because I played your spoiler alert number 1 favorite game of all time.
Yeah, you did.
And honestly, number 1 and 2 is tough because, like, you know, the number 1, like I mentioned at some point, it's just kind of like it's like imagine a lockbox. It's in a lockbox in your head, and like nothing could ever touch it. Like you don't have the lock anymore. But I mean, despite it not even really being your favorite game to play anymore, it's just like the experience you had with it already is just like nothing will ever be like that. But this fucker is pretty close. All right. So yeah, I got on the Switch. I did not get it on release day because nobody got a Switch on release day because there was like 10 of them.
Well, and you weren't going to play this shit on Wii U either.
Right. Yeah, I was not going to buy a Wii U. And I don't even remember why I really wanted this Switch. Because it wasn't to play this. Like, I never played a Zelda game before this.
No.
So, I don't know. I guess when I got it for the first time, like, or I mean, when I saw the trailers for this game, it was kind of like, oh yeah, that game looks cool. Like I might casually enjoy that when I get the Switch. And then when I started playing it, like it was life changing. Not to sound dramatic, but maybe I'll get some exterior shots so you can actually see this fucking crazy shrine I got down here. But for many, many years, it pretty much was like my go-to thing, anything.
Yeah.
Like anytime anyone ever asked me, what do you want for Christmas or birthday or whatever, it's like, dude, just fucking get something Breath of the Wild related. Like, yeah, you're pretty much good with that. I've gotten all 900 Korok seeds twice. I mean, Technically twice. Technically, I only got 899 the first time. But I still remember which motherfucking tree it is. Because it was one of those, like the 3 trees, and you have to match the apples.
Yeah.
And it was the one right on the cliff outside of the Terrytown. Like when you warp to the shrine and you go down that cliff right at the edge, there's 3 trees right there. And one of those motherfuckers got struck by lightning at some point, and then the tree never grew back. Like it never came back.
Yeah. So
the game fucked me out of the 900. So I did it. I found them all again and finally got the 900.
Yeah.
And then I got the 1000 Tears of Kingdom. Also, side note, Tears of Kingdom and this one, like, they're pretty much just here together. Like, it's a fucking combo pack.
Yeah, it's very much like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2, where...
Like, Tears of the Kingdom is a better game.
Yeah.
But, like, this is the one I played first. And, like you said about how Kingdom Hearts 2 was, like, the first game you got crazy hype for.
Yeah.
It wasn't, like, Gears 3 was probably that for me.
Yeah.
But nothing is going to fucking match the years and years I was waiting for Tears of the Kingdom. and like the fucking day they dropped that first trailer, and it took like 4 years for the game to come out. Like that 4 years was crazy. I left work early that day. I played it for 9 hours in the day, and the only reason I played it more is because I had to work the next day. So, but now we're not talking about that one. We're talking about this one.
Talking about Breath of the Wild.
I really like the champions. Rivali's an asshole.
He's a fucking prick.
Daruk's a badass. Mifa is adorable, and Urbosa is also a badass.
Yeah, love Urbosa.
Yeah, dude. And bro, don't even get me started on the princess. Jesus fucking Christ.
Don't even get him started on the fucking princess, okay?
Don't even fucking get me started, dude.
Just show the statue. That's all you gotta do.
But yeah, like this game is one of those danger ones for me. Anytime I'm hanging with my friend Josh, and I'm like sitting around, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, you just like play Zelda for a little bit. And because I'm very hesitant to do it, because I know if I start playing it, even for a few minutes casually, I'm going to play the whole fucking game again.
Yeah.
So I have to be very careful with it.
It's got nigh infinite replayability, I'd say.
Like, that's what I mean about it being difficult between number 1 and number 2. Like, I would rather play this one much more than my number 1, but that one is just... We'll get to that one. But... yeah, it's a great. It was my gateway to the series. I played a handful of them now, handful of Zelda games. I'm trying to backtrack, but they're kind of hard to find, and some of them haven't aged too well.
No.
People like to shit on these two new ones because they're very different from the old Zeldas, but I think they're just fucking mad because their favorite Zelda game got dunked on. So stay mad, pussy. It's really good. I enjoy my time with it.
Do you remember the first time you played it?
Yeah, I was with Josh because I got the Switch. I got the bundle, and he was over, and obviously you have, much like Fallout 3. This game does a very similar thing. It's like the walkout scene.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you first get out of the Shrine of Resurrection, or when you first get out of Vault 101 and you see the world, like you just see it, and it does the music thing. Tears of the Kingdom did the same thing, but you fall from the sky this time, but it's like the same fucking idea.
Yeah.
But that was just such a good scene. I remember first time seeing a rock talus, I was like, oh shit, what the fuck is that?
Is that the dragon?
No, it's like the big rock guy.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
I remember running away from that one in the Dueling Peaks. Yeah, it was just a lot. It was a lot.
Well, and it's also a game that has fundamentally changed.
It's like the GTA 3 effect.
Yeah.
Where so many games are just trying to be that game now.
It is so influential, and it has remained relevant and influential for 8 years now. 8 years. No.
7. It'll be 8 years in March.
Yeah. The fact that Breath of the Wild has so many imitators, and instead of doing the Nintendo thing and saying, okay, well, what's the next thing we're going to do for Zelda? It's like, no, we're just going to do the same thing again. Because that first one, we're just going to make it better. And that does not happen very often. Typically with Zelda, you get one game, and then 7 years later, 4 years later, it's another one. And it's like, a different gimmick.
Yeah.
It's like with Mario, it's like each new game it complements the system that it comes out on very well. But with Breath of the Wild, they knew they cooked with something really fucking nice. And so the next Zelda game was, I think they came out with Link to the, what was Link's Adventure? Link's Awakening?
It was a remake though.
Yeah. And
then Tears, and then Echoes of Wisdom, but that was a different studio entirely. And apparently it's the first one of the series that didn't have any involvement from Miyamoto.
Wow.
So
that's wild.
That's why it's pissing me off, but that's another story.
So I think I'm beginning to notice a pattern in our top 3. each. All of yours are open world games. Or have elements of open worldness.
Top 4 are all open world, yes.
Yeah, and a lot of at least my top 3 are all RPG / have RPG elements to them. Yeah.
I don't know if Arceus is RPG, but
I mean, it's got turn-based combat.
I guess.
They're
all turn-based.
They're all turn-based, yeah.
Kingdom Hearts is not turn-based either.
No, but Kingdom Hearts definitely has, like, you flipping through your magic menu.
It's like a weird hybrid.
It's a very weird hybrid. So, with that said, we're going to talk about our number 1 favorite games of all time now. Oh. We have iterated already that these are not our top 15 best games of all time. You don't have to agree with every single choice.
I don't want to hold this thing.
That's okay. You don't have to agree with every single choice. We're not asking you to. But I don't know if you can see it either. That's okay. Whatever. Persona 5 is not even a surprise of a choice to people who know this game. People who know the effect that this game has had on the gaming community. People who have been Persona fans for years. People who know me and know what I like now. Not even a surprise. But I think this game, along with Kingdom Hearts 2, and along with Pokemon as a whole, I think Arceus is just like, the best, like, technically speaking Pokemon game that I've played, and that's why it's so high up. And but my top 3, they're all based around the feelings that I have when I think about those games and the feelings that I had when I played them for the first time. Because Persona 5 was my first, I would say, like, weeby game ever. I would look at games with, like, anime characters on the front, and I'd be like, nope, not for me. But in the summer of 2019, I started watching My Hero Academia, and then I started watching a shit ton of other anime, and only after that did I pass by Persona 5, the Steelbook, at a resale game store. It was the half-price books. It was the disc replay in Orland Park. And I saw the Steelbook, and I said, I'm going to ask my friends if they like this game. And, of course, all of them who watched the anime, they were like, yes, it's a great game. Fantastic game. And I said, okay, I'll think about it. Cut to me and you at a different disc replay in Indiana, and I see the collector's edition of Persona 5 hanging up on one of those glass cases, like, do not touch. And it also didn't include the game. It was just all the other extra shit. And I remember turning to you and I was like, all right, I'm going to go back and I'm going to buy this game. If I start playing it and I think it's worth having the collector's edition, we're going to come back and I'm going to hope and cross my fingers that this is still here. So I go back, I get the Steelbook for Persona 5. I am enamored immediately. I get like 10, 15 hours in, and I'm like, I need to get that collector's edition. We go back, still there, perfect.
Lucky son of a bitch.
Lucky son of a bitch. That's why I'm like, meant to be. The Steelbook that I found at a different disc replay was the exact Steelbook that came with the collector's edition, and the collector's edition I found had everything but that Steelbook. So I'm like, dude, I don't believe in fate, but I was like, it's like too many coincidences back to back. And then, like, literally like a month after I was like still playing the game, I'm sure. But like a month after, at the Game Awards, they announced the first character for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC, and it's fucking Joker from Persona 5. And I was like, it's a good thing I got into this game prior to seeing this news. Otherwise, I'd be like most people and asking, who the fuck is this? So now that you've got all the setup, I think we better just talk about the game, because you have played Persona 5. It's been a little while.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few years, but like I still remember it pretty well.
Yeah. It is a game much like the last couple of Persona games in the franchise. You play as a teenager. There's another world that you dive into where you have powers. You make friends while you're at school. They also get powers because they're friends with you. You fight demons. You fight corporate corrupt adults. And all of these games they feel very empowering. Or I would say that if I were a teenager when I started playing these, but I was in my 20s. Which is, it's not, the irony is not lost on me, but I will still say these games had a huge impact on me. I know it sounds super cheesy, but, making friends in a game like this, where, by the way, minimum, you're playing like 80 hours. These are long games.
That's exactly how long it took me. It was like 80 hours and something minutes.
Yeah, these games are a haul. And also, you play almost every single day in a calendar year. You're playing, you're waking up on a day, you're hanging out with your friends, you're fighting monsters, you go to sleep, you wake up the next day. So it is definitely a game that you cannot just jump into casually and put down. If you want to, you can, but it'll take a long time to finish either way. And so much like I'd say watching a TV show or like getting to know characters in a sitcom and then getting to like the finale, I'm not kidding when I tell you that by the time I finish this game for the first time, like the epilogue, the ending of the original Persona 5, you literally have to say goodbye to every single friend that you made along the course of the story. And they all tell you about their hopes and dreams. Some of them are graduating from school and they're like, yeah, I'm hoping I can open a coffee shop with my family, like somewhere on the beach. One of them is like, I'm going to go to school to become a prosecutor because like I want to like honor my dad's legacy or whatever. And then you get to that final cutscene and like the music that they play is just like a more somber, like celebratory version of like one of the battle themes. I got so emotional. Like I felt like a literal hole, not a literal hole. Like I didn't have a fucking ulcer or anything. But like saying goodbye to these characters, it was the first time in my life that I had closed a game and I had gotten to the end and I was like, I want more. Like it felt like legitimately saying goodbye to my friends, which sounds so dorky. And I promise I have friends in real life too. Yeah. And so of course I tried to pressure them into playing Persona 5. But yeah, man, the only other thing I'll say before I hand it off, is Video Game Donkey. Shout out Donkey, YouTuber, now a game developer, CEO or publisher. Yeah. He said this about Persona 5. He said, I fucking hate RPGs. JRPGs especially. So a JRPG that takes 80 hours to beat that has turn-based combat.
Yeah, he hates anime, JRPGs, and turn-based combat.
And when
all three of those things.
I forgot what his exact words were, but he was like, when even I think this game is good, that's got to mean something. And it's a video about like the voice of a critic and how, it's only reliable if it's consistent. And that's the only time he ever talked about Persona 5 specifically. But in that moment, I felt so vindicated. And I was like, other people like this game too? And yeah, no fucking surprise. Now Persona 5 itself, not even just the Persona franchise, but that game has like 5 spin-offs. That's One Piece. Whatever. It has a remaster called Persona 5 Royal, which adds new stuff to the story. And it doesn't, I wouldn't say it's had the same legacy as Breath of the Wild as far as, its contribution to the gaming industry as a whole. But you ask anyone what their favorite soundtracks or UI in a game are, and 9 times out of 10, I would go so far as to say Persona 5 is going to be on most people's lists. Maybe not at number 1, but this game has fucking style, dude. It's like every menu, every battle, everything that has music in it, it's all really fucking good.
Very red.
Very red, yeah, and that's Persona 3 is blue, Persona 4 is yellow, Persona 5 is green or red.
6 is apparently going to be green.
6 is apparently going to be green because I think 1 was purple and 2 was orange or the other way around.
Yeah, we don't know about the first 2 because they're ancient and probably $1 million.
Very much, very similar to the Fallout franchise actually, where it didn't start getting popular really until the third one.
Yep, GTA 3, Fallout, Persona, The Witcher,
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls,
Probably
a bunch of other ones.
Yeah.
But usually it's the third one.
So
Like I saw that meme, you know that fucking meme with like the swords?
Oh yeah.
Like pointing in the middle, and it's like all these franchises in the middle, it's like skipping the first 2 entries of the game.
Yeah.
Series or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of them.
And Persona 5 was the first entry point into that franchise for
Also,
myself.
apparently
and a lot of people.
Hitler is in one of the first 2 originals.
Yeah.
First 2 Persona games.
Yeah.
Which, no docking them, but like you can't fucking find them or play them like anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's why you skip them, because you fucking can't find them.
Yeah. Who knows if they're good? But Persona 5 fundamentally changed me as a person. So anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, shit. Like I said, I think I finished this game back in like 2019 or something.
Not a long time ago.
So yeah, it's been a while. Like I said, I remember it because I mean I just played Persona 3, like the remake Reload.
Yeah, Reload.
And so like that's pretty fresh in my mind, and like comparing the two, like there's a lot of things I like. I think I like 3 more, but it's also been 5 years since I fucking played for like. I'm about to play Royal as soon as I'm done with Spider-Man 2, because I have to fucking finish that game already. I'm starting Royal, so we'll see how that goes. But like, yeah, I prefer like the dungeons having like theme, like all of them are different themes.
Yeah.
I prefer the shadows, like how they all look different in the world. Although I do fucking hate when you leave a room, they just respawn.
Yeah.
That always pissed me off. I fucking hate Morgana. I hate him so much.
Okay. He's the cat sidekick, by the way.
Yeah, but I also think that's because that was the first Persona game I played, so I wasn't aware that like, because even 3 did it, because he's like, oh, you shouldn't do that, you should do this instead, and I was like, fuck you, cat, let me do what I want to. But even 3 did it, but it was like yourself. I was like, oh, maybe I should do this.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's just the fucking series. You can only do like 2 things a day.
Yeah.
Like afternoon, night, morning, or whatever. Like you can only do one thing.
Yeah.
But now that I know that going into to it again later, I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. He's also not nearly as bad as Teddy from Persona 4. So when that gets remade, get ready, everybody.
I think I like the cast in 3 more.
Yeah.
But the only person I didn't like in 5 was who's the art guy?
Yusuke?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
guy I didn't give a shit about, but everyone else I liked. But yeah, I don't know. It was pretty cool. I like the bosses, and I didn't really hear much of the music because I played it at when I play shit with my band, like we listen to music, so I don't hear what the hell I'm doing. But like sometimes one of the guys plays, I don't know what the song's called, but "You Never See Me Coming."
Oh,
like,
yeah.
They play that song on the thing, and it's like, damn, because that plays every fight, and it takes a really good artist to make something that you hear a million times in a game, especially with lyrics, and it not getting annoying ever.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping you like Royal. It does improve on a lot of it makes a lot of quality of life improvements compared to the original Persona 5.
But yeah, like it made me a fan too. So there's that.
Yeah, it's if you've never played a JRPG before, if you've never played an RPG where you're managing like stat increases and you're forming your party and you're figuring out weaknesses and The once more system in this game is really fun. Like when you get into a fucking rhythm of like, oh, I know each one of these enemies' weaknesses. I know which persona I'm gonna shift to. I know you knock them down once, you get another turn. You can pass it on to someone else, and then their attacks are stronger. It's really fucking fun. Like it makes turn-based combat not feel like a chore. And I think that's the most important thing about these games and why they're so digestible is because you can get into it, you learn the system, and then you can focus on the fun parts, which are dating every single woman that you can, and then getting your ass kicked on Valentine's Day. Hilarious. Yeah. Love that shit. I also hope you get to listen to the voice acting in these games because it is a lot of text. It's a lot of reading. But yeah, it's also one of the reasons, along with anime, of course, but I respect voice acting as an art form a lot, and it wasn't until like these games that I realized like I started recognizing voices from different things, and I started following the voice actors from this game whenever I'd hear them in different shows. Yeah, man, it's just cool.
That's also spoilers for My Hero Academia. I was so fucking mad that they killed off Midnight because she was voiced by Urbosa. And I was like, that's Urbosa, that's awesome. But yeah, much like I hopped on the Zelda bandwagon with Breath of the Wild, I hopped on the Persona. Like I'm gonna play anything Persona that comes out from now on.
Because chances are, like, they know what they're doing, and they have a new Atlas has a new game called Metaphor, which is also very Persona-like, and so far I'm having a lot of fun with it. And once I'm done with that, I'm probably gonna play Tears of the Kingdom. So riffs on some of our top favorites, just slight riffs. Also, really long games if you're playing Royal and I'm playing Tears.
Well, yeah. I mean, at least Tears is like a direct sequel instead of just like an
the same thing.
Version.
So yeah, man. If you're gonna play Persona, there's a couple of good places to start, but I think with this last game, we're gonna take it back to childhood one more time.
Oh my god, we still have to talk about mine.
We still have to talk about yours. So yeah, we're not done, man.
Oh,
thank you.
It's a fucking long episode, but that's what happens when you really like these 6 games.
Yeah. Like I said, these games fundamentally changed us. So, like, you're not going to convince us that they're bad games. We're not going to move them anytime soon unless something really fucking blows our minds. Yeah. But,
like, I would probably put Persona 3, like, in my 15 somewhere.
Whoa. Damn.
Like, it was really good. And it took me only 55 hours instead of 80.
Yeah, they're learning.
But yeah, I mean, I'd probably stick one of these games in there. Anyway, okay. I don't know if we've probably talked about Hit and Run before.
We have.
But I think everything in my number one spot always has like lore behind it.
Yeah.
Because much like Clockwork Angels, like it was the experience of playing it for the first time.
Yeah.
That's the reason it's like cemented in that glass box that you don't have a lock for, and it's always gonna fucking stay there.
No one's gonna touch it.
You can't even fucking get rid of it.
No.
Y'all remember Scholastic Book Fairs?
They still have them, and now they're selling manga.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, obviously you still remember them. But way back in 2003.
Oh my god.
My ass was like 7 years old, because it probably wasn't my birthday yet. Or maybe it was. 7 or 8 years old.
Oh yeah, we were in school.
So, I think the only thing I've played was I probably had a Game Boy with Fire Ed.
Yeah.
And my PS1 with like Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase and motherfucking Blaster Master.
Yeah.
So it was one of the first things I ever played. And I remember we got the magazine or the catalog or whatever. And I don't know, like, I mean, I guess I did watch The Simpsons, but I saw a Hit and Run in that magazine. The PC version. And, you know, I don't know how you buy it, but I bought it from the Scholastic Book Fair. And I got this son of a bitch. This is not the same copy. I later rebought the PC version because, like, I had to. Because, like, that's the one I played first.
Yeah.
And just, like, just fucking loving it, man. just loving it.
Yeah.
There was a period. Okay, you guys, probably people out here aren't even gonna remember this shit, but there used to be like written guides. Like not like IGN does now, where it's like you have video clips and everything, and you know it's like all this like very fancy stuff. It was just like text, text, like game guides,
like on blogs, like blog websites before, because the internet at the time, like it wasn't that crazy. Like I think this is if we're talking 2003, 2004, this is pre-YouTube.
Yeah.
This is just like when you could just like start a website, you didn't have to buy a domain or anything. You could just like, you know, early coding.
Yeah.
You could just make
basic ass shit,
like a blog website. Yeah, and it's just text. It's kind of like how it's kind of like not Quora, but there are a couple other sites that do that. Kind of like Reddit, but just less, like more primitive. Anyway,
pretty much. But yeah, I made one of those guides for this game, and it was just like all these places you find the wasps and the box crates and like coins, just like telling you where everything was. And I actually like made it for this whole game. And dude, like I still even remember the first time 100%ed it, because there was one fucking collector card that was in I think it was Lisa's level. Bart. The second time you play as Bart, it was in like the Lisa level.
Yeah.
But it was at night. And there was that one card, and it was like when you go down the drain, I think that was I don't know if that was where you go down the drain in the Cressy camp, like in the back. You go down a drain and you show up like like on the highway, and you have to go back, and there's like rocks, and there's a fucking card there. I remember the fucking first time I fucking found it, because I was looking for it for so long. I was like covering every inch of the damn map just to find it, and when I did, it was great. And it's like one of these games where every just once in a while I'm like, I feel like 100% in this game again. So I do. So I will. Like maybe one day I'll actually try to like time myself, see how fast I can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple bitches. Like everyone hates a set to kill. The fucking mission in the same level, the Bart one, where you have to fucking destroy all the. There's like 30 like laser stands.
Yeah.
And you have to go through the boardwalk, and you have to do it really fast, so you're hitting everyone, and you get like 2 hit and runs every fucking time you try to do that mission. It's a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously, it's not a super amazing game. Like a lot of shit repeats. There's 3 levels, and you do the same 3 levels again. Even the first one you play 3 times, but each with a different gimmick.
Yeah,
and like the second time you go through them, like 80% of it is the exact same.
Yeah.
Like the same gags, like similar wasp locations. Like once you play it for the first time, you fucking know like where everything is.
All the characters play the same.
Yeah, like it was very obviously rushed, and like I mean it just turned 21 years old, which is crazy.
Grab a drink with it.
And everyone is like, oh, like best Simpsons game, like by a landslide. Nothing even fucking comes close.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, remaster this fucking game, and even the developers are like, yeah, we hear people like always want to remaster this game, but you know it's Simpsons, and whoever fucking owns that IP is a fucking complete bitch. Same company made Ultimate Destruction, which was also in my top 15. So shout out fucking Radical Games.
Hell yeah, brother.
I've 100% this game on every platform it's on. Like, it's crazy. I hit a million fucking coins in this game.
Yeah.
Like a few years ago. That's crazy, because that was like I remember as a kid I was like, I wonder what it'd be like if I got 1 million coins, and I actually fucking did it.
Yeah.
And I have the clip on YouTube of me getting it on Xbox, not even the PC version, because like you can mod it, and where you hit 1 coin and it gives you like 100,000 coins or whatever. So like you can do it easy on PC, but not Xbox. I spent hours driving in fucking circles, just blowing up cars, listening to music. Like, man, I played this like I couldn't even imagine the hour count.
No.
Like I can see how much I've played fucking Zelda,
Yeah.
but I can't see how much I played this game.
No.
But it's a lot. And that's why it's my favorite game of all time.
It's a good one. And you know, to say that, like, I've also I remember going over to your place, and just like that was part of the day, was just playing hit and run. And I think that was back when they had cheat codes for games too, because I think there were cheat codes on the.
Oh yeah, I have a muscle memory.
Yeah.
Like I know the invincibility, the faster cars, the horn jump, the fucking horn jump, bro.
The horn jump was fun.
Man,
that's how you break the game right there.
Get out of bounds and shit. I remember the day my dad came into my room and took the fucking disc out of my computer and threw it behind our house because I was playing it that fucking much. And that's why that's why I had to get the PS2 version, because he broke my PC version.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That was that's how much I played it. It was insane.
More hit and run lore. Yeah, man. I mean, it's just like that's what it all comes down to. Is, you know, experiences. Unique experiences that change you are so few and far between that, like, it's so special to get to talk about this shit, and it means a lot to have people to listen to it too, even if it's only like 2 or 3 of you.
Shout out Lenny.
Love you, buddy. Happy belated birthday to you too. Sorry we couldn't go to Top Golf. Hope you're feeling better. And even if this is the end of our list, even if this is the end of us doing this podcast, this way, I am still, I think there's a beauty in that now there's no running pressure to keep uploading and keep making stuff. And I hope to look back on this in 10 years and listen to these episodes and add one more listen to the old listen count slash view count.
Fucking like 10th anniversary.
Yeah, we'll come back and we'll actually have a set this time, and it'll be like all dressed up, and we'll be dressed up. We'll get someone dressed as all of our favorite characters, but really poorly. So we'll get someone in a Homer Simpson costume, and it's just a guy that got yellow paint poured over him. We'll get a guy dressed as Joker, but he comes as like the DC Joker. Coming back to DC.
Damn. Look at that.
So
see you all in DC.
We wanted the last episode to be number 50. And obviously getting to the end of the list at 49 seemed a little anticlimactic. But it's almost the end of the year. We're almost 30. I mean, we just turned 29, but we're almost 30. And unrelated to the podcast, we are going to go see Origami Angel, a band that means a lot to both of us, in December in their hometown in Washington, D.C. I don't know if it's their hometown, their home state. To hear them play Somewhere City and Feeling Not Found, the new album, in full. Album parties.
Fuck, I love like full album live shows, man.
More people are doing them.
Shit's awesome.
It's how live music should be. We'll figure it out. But whatever we end up talking about, we hope you'll be there to join us. And it won't be for another month or so. So until then, happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Happy start to the Christmas season. Happy birthday, Ashley. Love you. Happy birthday. It won't be Gabby's birthday, but we're ramping up to it. Is there anything coming out that we should shout out?
I don't know. Got Opeth record coming out in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Should be cool.
Fuck you, Venom 3.
Yeah, eat a dick.
I hope it's The Last Dance.
Shit. Fuck that movie.
We didn't need this many.
I don't even need to see it to know it's trash.
We didn't need this many Venom movies. Yeah, goodbye room, at least while there are 2 cameras set up and microphones in our faces.
True. Drink Sprite. Feel the fucking purge.
Sponsored by Sprite.